ain't gon' solve just cause he got Olay on his hands now, BBS gleaming. Staying off the phone, no one tracing where he be in. Never trust another man walking by cheese it.
What is happening? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Hope that you're having a lovely day. Thank you so much for being here. It is Long Song Saturday, and today we are contributing and dedicating this particular Long Song Saturday to Can. We're going to do the song Halleluhwah. Not Hallelujah, it's Halleluhwah. This is off their album Take Omega, which we've been listening to, and now we have come to this track. This was released in 1971. So just before sitting down to record this particular track, I've gone through and listened to the first 3 songs here on the album, and this is really good. This is a really good album. So I'm excited to see where this one takes the rest of the journey, because we have this song, which is a long song, the next one, which is a long song, and then Pecking O, which is like 11 minutes, so it's not that long. So I hope that you enjoy it. Hope that I enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get started. This is Can with Halleluhwah.
It's She just cried, cried away. She asked me if I stay for her night. So days ago when I was singing mushroom head, oh yeah, paper house. I wondered what she did. Moon, shadow coming down. Why it's not a stormy, stormy night? Oh, that's all about. It's better than I'm home and die. She was a my lips, I chat with the ocean, she's so. shoes. Yeah, my feet up on my toe. Yeah, my feet up on my toe. Little, 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 little one. Little, 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 little one.
Whew, where did that one take you? Where did that song take you? That's a song that it was 18 minutes long. That's a track that you started in one place and then you ended up in a totally different place by the end of this track. That was like you started at A and at the end you ended at 96. I don't know. I just mean, like, it feels like it was a completely hallucinogenic and harmonic and trance-inducing journey. You closed your eyes and you woke up and you don't know where you are now. Remember Willy Wonka's tunnel? It's like that, but for 18 minutes instead of whatever short ride it was in the movie. This is a song that builds and evolves through repetition. And a comparison I'm going to make really quick, not necessarily genres and sounds, but just because of the repetition and how it works here. I'm going to compare this with Talking Heads, Remain in Light. That album took me a little bit to understand and to get into, even though now I see it so clearly and I totally get it. It's kind of like here. The song is very repetitive in its rhythms, but that's the charm of it. That's the purpose of it. The composition comes from everything around it. The rhythm is the center of the onion, and everything else, all the other musicians, are the layers in this onion. I do want to shout out, though, Mr. What was his name? Jackie? But his last name, you guys said, means love time, I believe. If I remember correctly, you said his last name translates to love time. What a fitting name. Because he kept the groove going this whole time. He was like a human metronome, always on time. And even if you're listening to just the drumming, which has a very, very nice stoic but pulsy groove to it, there's still a lot of changes and nuance in the drumming. At certain points, the percussion is built up into very like trembling and rumbling moments of catharsis, and then of course brought down into quieter subtlety. And he does this all pretty much within the same patterns. I think there's like 2 times the drum beat kind of changes. One was about 4 minutes in, and then of course near the end when it like just really sped up and really reaches full climax. But he really keeps that rhythm at a very particular pace, and I love that about it. To me, that is the part that's very trance-inducing. That's the rhythm to set your heart to beat into it, right? But it's everything else around him. Everything else around him, specifically guitar, violin was brought in at one point. That sounded kind of like discordant and out of tune, but it actually worked quite in tune with the tune. That would be played by Michael Caroli, who brought in the guitar and the violin. Like I said, that just works really well in here and kind of altering this atmosphere, putting us into an altered state of mind, really. And then Ermit Schmidt on the organ, the piano, the oscillators. Him and Caroli, to me, are the ones who are the most important parts of the outer layers of the onion. If Jackie is the one that sets the shuttle ablaze, they are the ones that actually place the stars in the sky to which we're journeying. They are those abstract and altered states of melody and mind. That is just really cool. And then, of course, you have Damo, with his sometimes incoherent ramblings, and he almost sounds like a crazy man on the street just yelling at passersby. And yet, doesn't his manic crying and yelling and singing sometimes kind of work really well with this? And I mean, we've gotten that throughout the whole album so far, but it just really works very nice in this rhythmic pace. Let me pull it back a little bit. Listen to that groove, first of all. Suke plays very minimally on the bass, as he's been doing, and yet, once again, he finds his step, he finds his groove in lieu and in line with everyone else in the band, specifically, of course, Jackie. But, let me pull it right here. I went too far. But let me go back. This is a good groove, though. You see, if we're going to play a simple groove, well, simple contextually, right? If we're going to play a groove for 18 minutes, it's at least got to be a good one. And I think this is a nice, funky, and snappy groove to get stuck into. And already you're hearing all the noises beginning around you. I do want to skip to about 4 minutes or so when we have that slight change that occurs. They break it down so interestingly for just a moment. And then they reverse it, break right back into it. That's cool. They got some really funky breaks in here. Like I said, Liebscheit, I mean, he's bringing it, right? And at that point, actually, I'll have to find the lyrics again because I want to know what exactly he's saying at that point when the music changes. Because often when the music changes and, they're saying something, there's a meaning behind it. So let me just see if I can listen again really quick, if you don't mind. Okay. So in that point, he's saying, did you see the day? Every fever I make my search in, we can find another stream, change its kind, fly away. So I'll have to look at the lyrics and kind of see if I can get out some meaning out of it, because I was kind of looking at it, but I wasn't really paying attention. And sometimes the lyrics are a little bit cryptic and they're hard to kind of pull things out of. But at this point, he's talking about making a change, escaping, leaving something, because at the end he says, change its kind, fly away. He says, we can find another stream. So the music almost opens up, almost as if a self-realization. When you realize something or you have an idea or you have one of those eureka moments. Eureka moment. It's like for just a moment your brain shifts gears. And now you're possibly aiming and heading in a new direction. So I like the way that that's enunciated musically here, outside of the rhythm. Because the rhythm stays a certain course, right? We've established that, and you've heard it. It's very repetitive. So it's interesting that out of that repetition, he has a moment of change, and the music changes with him. If you pull forward a little more, one thing I think is cool about this is that you could listen to it, and because of how repetitive it is, you could almost say, well, I don't like this because there's not really a lot of changes, there's not really any ups and downs, there's not really a lot of hills and valleys, climaxes and lows, and build up and releases, etc., etc. I totally disagree, to be honest, because if you listen to the music, the melodies around it are conveying those parts of the composition. Yes, the rhythm is the same, but even the rhythm brings up climaxes and things like that. So it's not like, let's just take, for example, like a typical prog song where you have a lot of movements, a lot of ups and downs, typically near the end culminating in that final grand release. This one, while the rhythm is the bass line, the melody are the waves that are going up and down in these in the valleys and hills. And then at the end, like I said, let me get that, because it's like the last 2 minutes here. this is like the climax, the very last one, you know? And even before that, when the beat changes, this is like a descent into madness. This is the part of the Willy Wonka ride where we're just like losing it. And we've already been losing it for 18 minutes, so at this point, you're gone. It sounds like you can hear some mumblings from Dama. And of course, like I said, you have that violin that kind of changes the air. Also, I was just looking on Wikipedia. Sometimes I forget the things that I said, by the way. So if I've said this before, I'm sorry for repeating this, but maybe it's worth noting twice. I think it's really interesting that Mark Hollis from Talk Talk said that Tego Mego has, or was, an extremely important album and an inspiration for Laughingstock. That's actually really cool. I love to see the camaraderie and like the respect and honor given between musicians and bands, you know, that may have two completely different sets of, you know, genre and musicianship, and it's just really cool to see them, like, I don't know, giving respect to each other. Now, looking at the lyrics on the track, did anybody see the snowman standing on Winter Road, with broken guitar in his hand, onion peeling sleepy eye? It's my recording station, man, but I record in his head, knowing that to Big Mouth, oh, ice can flow away, one knows. Okay. Moon shadow coming down while it's all a stormy, stormy night. Oh, the sound all above spinning me, hold me tight. My powers strike me out. Did I slip this thing on their life? And my God, buying out. Oh, it gets me in starlight. And then the part where he's just kind of repeating is searching for my blood flow. Yes, I am. I feel like I got to think about this one. So he says, did anyone see a snowman standing in the winter road with a broken guitar? And then he says, it's my recording station, but I record in his head. Knowing that's a big mouth, oh, the ice can flow away, one knows. So he says he's recording in this snowman's mind. He finds himself in a cold place, mentally perhaps. And then he says that ice can flow away. Like perhaps he can lose himself in this, because he's relating himself to a snowman made of ice, and he says the ice can flow away. So he loses himself to the music or something. Oh, they're all alone, man, like me. Oh, she asked me Thursday for her name. She was to go where I was singing. Mushroom Head, oh yeah, Paper House. Hey, I didn't even notice that while I was listening to the song. That's cool. I wonder what I should do. It's a game after this. Should all the shoot all the proof and lust and shout, and it's all just you so. I don't know I don't know what's going on in the lyrics, to be honest. And it goes like, and she said, got my fever, what do I do? Got my fever, what do I do? Got your souls into your shoes. And at the very end, he's just completely losing it. Halleluhwah, Halleluhwah, and he just keeps on repeating the title of the song. I don't know. I don't even know where to begin, to be honest. I'm looking on Google, like I'm actually searching to see if I could find a meaning for the lyrics or like what inspiration was behind it. So I went to songmeanings.com just to see like what other people may have thought about it. All right, this is a comment, okay? Trying to decipher most Can lyrics is like having Ray Charles for a bus driver. Oh, that's really good. But you guys can let me know, what did you think of the track? Did you think it was boring and overly repetitive and messy? Or did you think it was hypnotic and slightly transcendental with a lot of layers in the onion and the melody and everything that was captured there in the essence of the song? You can let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I don't mind if you slam it or if you love it. Every opinion, as long as it's an honest opinion, is welcome. So I definitely want to know your thoughts, and you can leave those, like I said, in the comments below. You can also follow me in a bunch of places that are listed below in the description if you'd like. You can like the video before you leave, and I hope that you subscribe as well. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you later. Bye.